Hello and welcome to a special edition of our Minds and Money 5 at 5 show this week, sponsored by the Saudi Geological Survey. Before we start, could I please ask all participants to turn your videos on, please. My name is Aldo Panini, Director of Communications and Stakeholder Engagement for Beacon Events, and I will be your host for the event. I have a mining background, most recently serving as Director of Communications for the International Council on Mining and Metals. Prior to that, I worked for Anglo American, serving as Chief of Staff to the Global Chief Executive and as Director of External Affairs for its Australian business. My co-host is Mike Hill, who heads up the mining business development for Minds and Money. For those of you attending 5 at 5 for the first time, the event, which is 5 guests at 5 p.m. UK time, is to promote and facilitate engagement between governments, investors and miners through these challenging times and providing a lively, interactive online format. Each speaker will deliver a brief presentation, followed by a few questions from the host. For attendees wishing to make inquiries, I will outline how that can be done at the end of proceedings. The objectives for this week's show are threefold. First, to raise awareness of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's ambition for developing its mining sector and attracting investment. Outline the regional Geological Survey program that will set the foundations for the future Saudi Arabian mining industry. And thirdly, provide an update on the opening of the mineral database. Before we proceed, I will now show a short video to set the scene.
In line with the Kingdom's Vision 2030 to create new horizons of investment in the mining sector that will benefit the country and its people. And to lay the foundation for further developments, the Regional Geological Survey Program was designed as a key foundation initiative in the development of the Saudi mining sector. Under the National Industry Development and Logistics Program and the Saudi Mining Strategy, the program is carried out by the Saudi Geological Survey, with highly experienced world-class international technical partners and geological survey consultants from around the globe. In this ambitious and promising program, some 500 Saudi geologists and scientists will work side by side with international experts to expand and enrich their knowledge and their country's geological data and fulfill their nation's goals. The Regional Geological Survey Program will cover approximately 600,000 square kilometers of the mineral-rich Arabian Shield in Saudi Arabia, a world-class challenge in terms of time and size. The key goal of the Regional Geological Survey Program is to capture high-quality and reliable geoscience survey data that will be the input to geological, hydrological, and geotechnical studies of Saudi Arabia that can in turn support the Kingdom's mineral exploration programs and provide promising investment opportunities for national and international investors alike. To those ends, the program delivers across three core areas. 1. Advanced Airborne Geophysical Survey. 2. Multi-Element Geochemical Survey. 3. Detailed Geological Mapping. The High-Resolution Airborne Geophysical Survey uses a variety of state-of-the-art technologies to capture survey data, including magnetic gradiometric and radiometric, and later advanced targeted gravity gradiometric and satellite hyperspectral imagery. The Airborne Geophysical Survey will continue for 6 years and will be implemented across 3 phases, starting with the radio and magnetic survey view of the Arabian Shield, before focusing on more targeted areas with advanced technologies such as gravity and electromagnetic. The survey will capture and interpret geophysical data, creating various digital geophysical maps and delineating rock formations, allowing us to produce essential mineralization zone maps of the Arabian Shield, which will be beneficial for decades to come. The Multi-Elements Geochemical Survey will utilize cutting-edge chemical analysis instrumentation to analyze some 110,000 samples taken from a 541,000 square kilometer area of the Arabian Shield to obtain geochemical data about the rocks of the Arabian Shield, create digital geochemical maps at various scales, and store data in the National Geological Database, with 76 elements for stream sediment and 65 elements for heavy minerals concentration, with the aim of discovering and charting all traces of metals and other elements in the Arabian Shield area. The gathered geochemical data will add an input dimension on environmental geology research in general, directly contributing to mineral exploration. The aim of the detailed geological mapping is to construct a high-scale, detailed systematic digital geological maps of most of the Arabian Shield to explore and determine mineralized and mineral exploration zones that will capture all geophysical, geochemical, satellite remote sourcing prospect, and current geological information in one map for interested scientists and explorer to explore. Geological mapping is an intensely complex process, requiring highly experienced and extremely knowledgeable mappers across a number of key disciplines. The entire mapping project will roll out over 2 phases, covering nearly 600,000 square kilometers of the Arabian Shield. However, all of this hard work will result in maps of the Arabian Shield that are far more detailed, accurate, and useful than any map that has been produced in the kingdom before. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's mining strategy has always been an ambitious one. Its core economic messaging is clear. By 2030, the mining sector aims to be the 3rd pillar of the country's industry, and the exceptionally detailed Regional Geological Survey program will be the foundation to turn this goal into a reality. Together with the team at Saudi Geological Survey and our technical partners from around the world, we are proud to take this next step forward towards greater prosperity for the kingdom and its people.
To discuss this exciting opportunity, we are joined by those who will be leading work on the Geological Survey, including Stephan, co-president of Sander Geophysics, Professor Wensheng, senior exploration geochemist at the China Geological Survey and Secretariat Director at the UNESCO International Center on Global Scale Geochemistry, Peter Zawada, Managing Director of International Geoscience Services, Philipp Schmidt-Thomé, International Operations Director at the Geological Survey of Finland, and Simon Bosch, Managing Director, Xcalibur Airborne Geophysics. Overseeing delivery of the program and leading the development of Saudi Arabia's mining industry is His Excellency Khalid Al-Mudaifer, Vice Minister for Mineral Affairs in the Ministry of Industry and Mineral Resources of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and President of the Saudi Geological Survey. I'm delighted to welcome His Excellency, who will be setting the scene for today's discussion. Your Excellency, thank you for joining us. A civil engineer by trade, an MBA graduate from the King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals, His Excellency has charted a distinguished career spanning the Kingdom's petrochemical and mining industries. Prior to his ministerial appointment, His Excellency served as company president and CEO of the Saudi Arabian mining company, Ma'aden, from 2011 to 2018, where he led the company to become a world-class integrated mining champion. His career began with the Eastern Petrochemical Company, where he rose through the ranks to become a vice president of the finance department. He then joined Qasim Cement Company, where as general manager and board secretary, he oversaw a period of economic growth and efficiency gains before joining Ma'aden in 2006 as vice president of industrial affairs. Since his appointment as vice minister for mining affairs in 2018, His Excellency has played a leading role in the development of a new national mining strategy as part of the Kingdom's Vision 2030 development strategy. It now gives me great pleasure to invite His Excellency to speak.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome and thank you for joining this special webinar to discuss Saudi Arabia new Regional Geological Survey program, the RGB as we call it. We launched the program only a few days ago, but I am pleased to see that we have already received tremendous amount of interest from around the world. I would like to thank the team of Minds and Money, my colleagues at the Saudi Geological Survey, and the Ministry of Mining and Affairs Office for helping to organize this event. I also would like to thank our partners from the Kingdom and around the world for taking part on this event. I'm looking forward to hearing from you all. We are excited and proud to be launching the Regional Geological Survey program in collaboration with some of the best names in the geological, geophysical, and geochemical survey. Saudi has a long and impressive record of building effective international partnership. And we are committed to ensuring the success of these remarkable alliances as well. The Regional Geological Survey Program is important for the Kingdom because it's a vital part of our comprehensive mining and mineral industry strategy and the National Industrial Development and Logistics Program, the NIDLIP program. Both the strategy and NIDLIP aim to develop the Saudi mining sector into the third pillar of our industry, along with the petroleum and petrochemicals. Ultimately, our goal is to continue to develop the mining into another sustainable resource for the national economy. To that end, we have recently announced a comprehensive revision of the investment mining law, which will be fully activated by January 2021. We recently launched the National Geological Database, the NGD, which delivers online access to 80 years of national records, including 10,000 reports in mining targets and prospects. And we launched the beta version of a new web-based platform called Ta'deed, which will soon be the single point of access for information seekers and mining license applications. These initiatives are among many we have recently launched to improve the sector governance, increase transparency, streamline application procedures, and boost efficiency and enhance the overall investor journey. The RGB is one of the world's largest, will continue for 6 years and will cover 600,000 square kilometers and collect and analyze over 100,000 rock samples. Through extensive airborne geophysical survey, multi-element geochemical survey, and detailed geological mapping, we expect to better understand the mineral resources of the Arabian Shield. We will make the detailed data available to all who are interested, including current and potential investors, researchers, academia. The data will also enrich our National Geological Database, and it will lay a firm foundation for future investment in the Saudi mining sector. Moreover, the Regional Geological Survey Program gives us a valuable opportunity to expand the knowledge and expertise of some 500 Saudi geologists and scientists who will benefit by working alongside our highly experienced global partners. Ladies and gentlemen, we believe this program and the data it produces will help us unlock up to $1.3 trillion worth of untapped mineral wealth. The future development of the potential discoveries will propel the Saudi mining sector to triple its contribution to the national GDP and generate hundreds of thousands of jobs for a new generation of Saudis. As you can see, this is a very important project. Together with our partners, we are eager to get started to realize the program's full potential. I want this opportunity to thank Mines and Money for hosting this webinar, and thank you all for attending. I invite each of you to join us in our journey and hope to see you all in the Kingdom soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. A few questions, if I may, before we move to the next speaker. Firstly, will the resulting data only be used by the government for internal strategic and policy development purposes, or will it also be made available to foreign companies? If so, when and under which circumstances?
Of course, the data will help inform our future mining policy decisions and our ongoing strategic planning for the sector. But the key purpose of the Regional Geological Survey is to stimulate new investment. That's why we are committed to the transparent and timely sharing of data with the general public, government, academia, and the investor, both existing investor and potential new investor. Everyone will have an equal and fair access. As the RGB progress, quality data will be posted in our digital platform or the NGD as soon as it becomes available. We expect some initial data could be viewed as early as a few months from now. And it's important, but it's important to highlight as well in this opportunity that we have recently launched our NGD, which will deliver online, as we said, access for all the records we do have since 80 years ago. It says our first version, it is the NGD 1.20. So also we will welcome comments on the accessibility and the ease of use of it. We understand the importance of accessing this data for investors and have already developed enablers to ensure it can be accessed easily, quickly, and fairly. And hopefully with the engagement of our investors, potential investors, we can continuously improve on it. In addition, transparency is not limited to the availability of the geological data. By law, with the new law, we are required to make public 3 registers covering license application, name of applicants, issued licenses, and available mining blocks that can be applied to. Anyone can review these registers, as we already have published them on our digital platform called Ta'deed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Second question, please. Data is a good entry point, but what else is being done to attract investors to the kingdom?
Yes, we're working on a number of fronts. So after comprehensive review of the global best practice in mining, we have recently approved a completely revised mining investment law. This legal infrastructure is an important part of our mining ecosystems because it supports a clear and transparent process for exploration and mining license application. The law will come into full effect in January 2021, but several articles of the law related to transparency, availability of data, application requirements, and exploration licenses application have already been activated, as we announced a couple of weeks ago. Applicants can apply from 2021, from November, or 1st of December 2020 for currently available mining blocks, and their application will be handled on a first come, first served basis, while other designated block, which is a small number, will be made available for competitive public bidding after we prepare the data rooms for those areas. We plan to have 3 or 4 blocks per year, hopefully. Also, our digital platform, Ta'deed, displays 3 public registers already exist, where anyone can see the location of designated blocks, mining reserve areas, as well as applications submitted, the names of all applicants, the date and time of application, and all licenses that already has been issued. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We'll now have presentations from companies that will carry out the geological survey. Our next speaker is Stephan, co-president of Geophysics.
Thank you very much, Aldo. On behalf of Geophysics, I'm pleased to be on this call today and would like to thank His Excellency Engineer Khalid Saleh Al-Mudaifer for this opportunity, and to thank everybody who's contributed to making this event happen. Geophysics history working with the Saudi Geological Survey goes back to the 1960s, and we're proud to be once again working with the SGS on this very important project. The company has flown over 1.3 million line kilometers in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, including previous aeromagnetic and radiometric surveys, and over 12 million kilometers of geophysical survey data throughout the world. We'll be carrying out an airborne magnetic gradient and radiometric survey over the northeastern portion of the Arabian Shield, processing and interpreting the results to enhance the geological understanding of the area and to assist in delineating areas of highest economic mineral potential. The Regional Geological Survey Program is a large and bold project which will make a significant contribution to understanding of the mineral resources in the Shield area. Geophysics has survey operations throughout the world, And this type of regional project using geophysics to tie together a geological picture of a shield area is an important step in developing the mineral potential of Saudi Arabia, and is exactly the type of project which Standard Geophysics specializes in. Aeromagnetic and radiometric data allow the company to map geological contacts and changes in lithology from data collected in an aircraft over a wide area in a relatively short period of time, even in areas where geological formations are covered by vegetation, soil, or sand. This provides the opportunity to delineate areas of high economic mineral potential and to recommend areas for detailed follow-up. Aeromagnetic gradients measure changes in the Earth's magnetic field caused by a change in the subsurface rock types, which provides information on lithology and geological structure, even if buried or at depth. Radiometrics measures the natural gamma radiation emitted from the ground and provides information on the lithology and alteration of surface or near surface geological units. Standard Geophysics intends to utilize multiple aircraft, which are owned and operated by the company, flying in a grid pattern over the project area to acquire high quality data in an efficient and timely manner. Safety is always a priority at SGL. The company is a founding member of IAGSA, the Airborne Geophysical Survey Industry Safety Group, and will be rigorously following IAGSA's recommendations and policies throughout the project. SGL will have a crew of experienced geophysicists, pilots, and technicians to carry out the project, and will use its own aircraft and geophysical survey equipment to fly the survey. The data will be processed and interpreted by SGL's geophysicists in the offices of the Saudi Geological Survey in Jeddah, making use of the company's long experience in those areas. We're excited to get started with the project and to be working in close cooperation with the experts at the Saudi Geological Survey and with the other participants in the project. An important aspect of the project is training of SGL personnel and SGL Saudi employees. Training will emphasize the most important aspects of the project, including data acquisition, preliminary and final data processing, quality control, and geological interpretation of the geophysical data. This type of large-scale collaborative effort will provide the best opportunity to maximize the utility of the data collected and to produce the best possible results for the development of the mineral potential of the kingdom. It's with great pleasure that we have the opportunity to participate in the Regional Geological Survey Program in the Arabian Shield area under the Saudi Geological Survey. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Stephan. And you've covered actually some of the points I wanted to ask you about, particularly related to processing and interpretation of data, as well as the outputs from the program. I just wondered if you wanted to highlight those again for everybody's benefit.
Okay, well, the main outputs of the products that we're going to be producing are going to be, we'll be delivering the data, the field data as acquired, processed digital magnetic and radiometric line and grid data, various digital products derived from that data, and then digital maps, and then on to the interpretation of the data, including location of contacts between major lithological units, surface lithology, buried lithological units, alteration zones, shear zones, and the location of dikes and folds and faults and major tectonic features. And then we'll be targeting areas of high mineral potential and giving recommendations for follow-ups to the data.
Terrific, Stephan. Thank you so much for that. If I could move on to our next presentation, that will be delivered by Professor Yao Wensheng of the China Geological Survey, who have been doing some great work in the kingdom. In addition to being Secretariat Director at the UNESCO International Center on Global Scale Geochemistry, Professor Yao is a recognized and leading authority in the field of geochemical exploration and mapping. Professor Yao, could you please give us an update on the work of the CGS and how it will help the Kingdom's Geological Survey Program?
Okay, thank you, Aldo, for your kind introduction. Stephan's address centered on the acquisition of geophysical data through airborne techniques. However, I'm here to talk on the collection of geochemical data from land surface investigations. The Geochemical Survey project will able to systematic document the elements distribution and accurate delineate further prospecting area for mineral deposit. This information can assist mine operators in understanding the mineral landscape and the shield area. Before I talk about the project's contribution to the RGP, let us first review the key role of geochemical survey in China's mining industry. Over the past 40 years, CGS has conducted a serious geochemical survey and mapping program at different scales. The systematic geochemical mapping is a core techniques of geochemical survey. The image on the left corner is the China Gold geochemical map, achieved through high density stream sediment. The regional geochemical survey, this project is called RGNR, is well known by the international community. The image on the top right corner is one map of the 76 elements geochemical atlas of southern China, produced by the reuse of the RGNR archived samples. During the implementation this program, the unified and systematic sampling method, up-to-date analytical techniques, and strict quality control under the data explanation method were well developed. China territory is large, so the RGNR program was undertaken by teams from 30 provinces for more than 35 years. It is a remarkable achievement for the successful compilation of the seamless geochemical map of the whole China territory. Please, next slide. By the end of 2015, the RGNR program have covered about 7 million square kilometers, with a total about 27 million samples collected and 300 million geochemical data generated. This program has led to the discovery for more than 5,000 mineral deposits, with gold reserves for more than 4,000 tons. The program has made the great contributions towards meeting the mineral resources requirement for China's fast industrialization. Through the multi-scale geochemical survey, the strategy for applying the geochemical survey in mineral exploration have well applied, such as for gold. You know, China has been ranked the first gold producer in the world for more than 13 years. The geochemical survey provided the solid foundation for these achievements. Up to now, the geochemical survey, which is a cost-effective technique, have been playing a leading role in mineral exploration in China. The RGNR program, which started 40 years ago, it provided only 39 high-quality geochemical elements geochemical data. Now, CGS would like to apply its up-to-date techniques for conducting the 76 elements analysis for the Arabia Shield. This project is capable of producing more than 7 million high-quality geochemical data. While deep mining this data, coupled with geophysical survey and geochemical mapping resource, will great contribution to the Arabia mining industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor. I have a couple of questions for you, if you don't mind. The first is, as you mentioned in the presentation, the project will analyze 76 elements. What do you think is the biggest challenge in this task?
Okay, you know, for this project, we'll analyze 76 elements in order to provide the full information about the element distribution in the survey area. the detection limits for these elements must lower than its abundance in the crust. This is usually the big problem for analyzing the ultra trace elements, such as PGE and gold. For these elements, it's always presented in sub-PV level. We have competence in this area. We have analysis developed the 76 elements for regional geochemical survey and for global geochemical survey. This experience will greatly add value to the project resource.
And just a quick follow-up, Professor, what excites you about the geochemical survey project in the kingdom?
Okay, you know, geochemical survey techniques was born in Soviet Union, former Soviet Union in the 1930s, and basic methodology and regional geochemical mapping have developed mainly in the Europe, such as in the UK, with important intention being made all over the world in the 1980s. China started in the systematic geochemical survey in 1978, have made a great contribution to the concept and the methodology development. The application of these techniques in China mining industry is remarkable. The geochemical project gave us this project gave us an opportunity to contribution Saudi's economic growth and development. As we know, the project will supervised by the consultant geochemist from UK. You know, China geochemists and UK geochemists have a long-term cooperation. Another is, you know, we cooperate together with great contribution to the Saudi Arabia mining industry, but also for the technology development. Another, from another way, for the Arabia Shield is a large area. Its area is more larger than 140 countries in the world's area. So it's a big project. We are so excited. Thank you.
Professor, thank you very much for those insights. Next speakers come from a consortium headed by International Geoscience Services and the Geological Survey of Finland, represented by Peter Zawada, Managing Director of IGS, and Philipp Schmidt-Thomé, International Operations Director at GTK. During his illustrious career, Peter was the Executive Manager Regional Geoscience and Mapping at the Council of Geoscience of South Africa. IGS's work includes large, complex and strategic level studies with national governments, development agencies and the World Bank. Philipp Schmidt-Thomé, his background is geography, soil science and geology. Since 2016, he leads the international cooperation at GTK. GTK's philosophy is solutions for more sustainable growth, and their work encompasses data sets, geodata, geodata management, the circular economy, and mineral economics. Welcome, Peter and Philipp. Peter, if I could start with you, could you please tell us, I should say, Philipp, could I start with you? Could you please tell us about the consortium's planned work in the kingdom?
Well, yeah, thank you very much. First of all, His Excellency Khalid Al-Mudaifer, the host of this session, and of course, Aldo, thank you very much for organizing this and your team. I will first give a short introduction into what we do, and then Peter will go more in deep what we'll actually then perform within this project. So next slide, please. Just a brief overview why geodata is so important. It's because today's explorers and investors really expect easily to find and easy access to detailed online digital data for better decision making and mitigating risks in investments in the mining sector. So the geodata must be modernized, and it has to be conformed to national standards, and it must be, of course, extremely reliable. So in this, what is here important is that you have online services where actually companies can start their exploration from basically their home desk, what we're all used to nowadays. due to the coronavirus to work from home. And here I would highlight the services of the Geological Survey of Finland if you have time later on to check them out. So the National Geological Survey is here key in the acquisition and the management and the dissemination of geodata. And alongside with this, and also GTK will be responsible for this, is the National Drill Core Archive. And that data should be, of course, part of the corporate data warehouse and should be digitally for certain linked. And one more thing I would like to highlight here in Finland, once a mining company leaves a site, all the geodata they collected will be archived. And this is here managed by GTK, which is something that we'd really like to recommend forward. Next slide, please. Just to highlight quickly that Finland has been investing very much in the geodata in order to gather investment into Finland in the mining sector. So we've been doing this for over 20 years now. And the graph you can see here, just quickly, you can see the dashed line. This is when Finland joined the European Union and we allowed for foreign investments into the exploration. You can see how much more private companies have actually started to invest in the mineral sector in Finland. And GTK's mineral potential mapping has been rather strong in the beginning, and it's not petering out, don't understand this wrong, but we're doing it more target oriented, right? So Finland's attractivity for the foreign investment ranks among the highest globally since over 10 years. Also, the Finnish geodata is ranked highest in the world. And I just want to mention one more figure here, that in the last 13 years, we've had 755 million euro invested into mineral exploration, of which around 70 million in the last year. And with this small graph, I will give over to my colleague, Peter, who will now answer better Aldo's question on what we're actually really going to do within this consortium. Thank you very much for now. Peter, and next slide, please.
Next slide, please. Well, thank you very much indeed, Philip. That leads on to quite an important issue, as the role of IGS GTK as technical partner. Just a little bit of history. IGS was assisting the SGS, the Saudi survey, for a couple of years now in formulating many of the technical specifications that you saw for the airborne geophysics, the geochemical sampling, as well as the geology mapping program, which will be released fairly soon, as well as the specifications for the National Core Library. And those specifications were very much drawn up on the basis of international best standards, and also the requirements of what explorers are requiring in terms of the data to make their decision making more risk effective. Now, our role covers the following programs, and I'll get to specifically the role, is the airborne geophysics, geochemical sampling, the geological mapping, the National Core Library that Philip mentioned, the National Geodata Bank, which will be the critical repository of legacy data, as well as the future, as well as the data coming from the RGP program. And of course, the training related to the surveys, as well as the training as part of the technical partner itself. Now, critically, our role in this program is to provide then the technical support to SGS really during the implementation of these surveys. Now, this is really about the quality control of that geodata on an ongoing and final sign-off basis. It will involve, of course, supervision and overseeing of the technical elements of the surveys and the training and capacity building programs. And to be very simple, but very important, I think, is to make the statement, IGS GTK Consortium will act really in the best interests of SGS to ensure that the delivery of geodata from those programs meets those specifications. And I'd like to say here that our role here becomes actually particularly important when we see, for example, challenges, issues, problems with the surveys for whatever reasons, to identify those issues at an early stage so that mitigation measures can be put in place with SGS. I think that's quite an important role there. Could I have the next slide, please? The consortium will be supported by PGW, Patterson, Grant and Watson, out of Toronto. They are geophysical specialists, as well as Geotech Arabia in Jeddah, who will handle some of the logistical and some of the technical aspects of our program. As a consortium, we do have extensive experience of this type of work around supervision and quality control of many large regional scale programs in geology, geophysics, in geochemical acquisition and geodata management, particularly in emerging and developing countries, in Africa particularly. Often these were part, and many of the colleagues on this on this webinar will have experience of these World Bank loan agreements or own government funded programs. So we have a pretty good idea of what's involved with these things over some years, and we have experience in countries such as Mozambique, India, Namibia, Laos, Tanzania, Burkina Faso, Malawi, amongst others. And then lastly, my point here is that we have a particular experience, the nature of our consortium, and I think, and this is the sort of the strength of our consortium, of working, the experience of working with national geological surveys and their role in attracting exploration investment through acquisition, management and dissemination. And I just want to say on this point that geological surveys are critical in that value chain from exploration through to exploitation, because these are the ones that obviously are implementing these large-scale programs. They're risky programs. They require quite a lot of investment, but they form the link then between taking on that risk and passing on the valued information, quality information through to the commercial sector, to the exploration sector. I'd just like to say how honored we are to be part of this truly globally important project. And we're looking forward to getting involved with the various contractors and also, of course, SGS and the ministry. Thank you very much.
Philip and Peter, thank you both very much for the presentation. Again, a couple of questions. Happy for either of you to have a stab at this. What do you regard as the key elements of success in attracting foreign investment into the mining sector, particularly in the Kingdom?
All right, if I may answer this, this is Philip again. So a strong commodity portfolio is very important for promotion, right? And for that, you need a clear and consistent mineral policy, as has been already announced by His Excellency earlier on, which is currently under development and implementation. And mining and environmental legislation is very, very important too, because it shall leave no room for any surprises, right? And this is one of the reasons that we get a high influx of investment into Finland, because we have very strict legislation, so nobody will be surprised.
Thank you very much, Philip. A follow-up question to both of you. Why is quality control such an important component of the technical partner project?
Okay, thanks, Aldo. I'll take that on. Look, any country that considers implementation of such an ambitious, and it is an ambitious program of geodata acquisition, such as Saudi Arabia, realizes fairly early on that the initial costs are high. They are very high indeed. However, the return of investment and the multiplying effect that geodata collection has further downstream is indeed massive. But such an investment is therefore, as I like to call it, is literally a once in a generation event. Geodata then will be used, the new geodata will be used and reused countless of times, not just in the mineral sector, although this is of course the focus in our work at the moment, but also in other sectors such as land use planning, environmental control, agriculture, water, and so on. So the data has to be, and this is critical, of a quality, a high quality of a coverage and resolution that's going to meet the needs of the country for many years to come. And critically, specifically, exploration companies will need to be confident that with the geodata as a basis to make the strategic decisions to invest further. So that's really why the quality control of such data will ensure that this happens. Thank you.
Great, Peter. Thank you. Thank you very much to you and Philip for that shared presentation. Our final speaker for this afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you happen to be, is Simon Bosch of Xcalibur, a provider of airborne geophysical services. Simon entered the geophysics business in 1997 as project manager at Spectrum Air and joined Xcalibur in 2009, where he became the managing director in 2012. Excalibur's main focus are geophysical projects in Africa, the Middle East, and more recently in Europe. Welcome, Simon, and could you please tell us about Excalibur's future work in Saudi Arabia, in the kingdom?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, His Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. Before I start, I just want to congratulate again the government of Saudi Arabia and the people for designing this excellent program. I believe this is going to attract massive investment into your mining sector and unlock wealth for your people. For us, it's a great honor to be involved in this project, and we can't wait for it to start. So I just want to share with everyone what we've been doing in the last few years and what I believe uniquely position us to render excellent service to the government of Saudi Arabia. So this is a sort of a footprint of things we've been doing in Africa in the last number of years. You can see that we cover large tracts of the continent. Next slide, please. So one of the big projects we've done in recent years was the mapping of Angola. This was a self-funded project by the Angolan government. We flew over 1.2 million line kilometers, and the data has currently been made available to the mining sector. It's an excellent data set, mapping subsurface geology, mapping our geological structures, which was unknown until this program was completed. Next slide, please. So just to see after the project was completed, what happened, the system was mapped out, which was unknown. And this is what will happen most likely in Saudi Arabia as well, that there will be geological systems that people must probably reasonably understood, and there will be new things that are going to come out of this, which will make the mining sector very excited. Next slide, please. So another big project we did in Africa was we flew a tie line survey for the Botswana government. This was done a few years ago, and the idea was to integrate all the existing data sets in the Botswana government archives. A very important project, and then once completed, provided them with a full picture of their country's geophysical data. Next slide, please. So there you can see the completed project. So that was a merged magnetic map, which then gave mining companies the full picture of the country, something that's very important when you do regional targeting. Next slide, please. The next project we've embarked on was a large mapping project in Burkina Faso. This was funded by the World Bank. You can see the statistics there. This was done in 2018, flown at 550 meters above ground level, which provided an excellent high-resolution data set, and which will definitely unlock value for the people of Burkina Faso in the future. Next slide, please. Then you'll see there on the right-hand side, Sierra Leone. We just completed this program, also World Bank funded. It was a survey that was flown at 150-meter line spacing, 50 meters above the ground. Excellent data set, a legacy data set, which will definitely attract a lot of investment. The mining industry is very excited about this data set, covering the whole country. Then at the moment, we're busy mapping portions in the DRC. You can see there on the left-hand side. Of course, what happens in Central Africa during the rainy season, which is typically our summer year, one can't do too much work, so that's regional, that's seasonal type work, a large program, which also, in my opinion, will excite the mining sector with very valuable data coming into the market. That's basically my presentation, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for the opportunity. We are looking forward to start this program and develop a partnership with the people of Saudi Arabia for a long time.
Simon, thank you very much for that. And if you don't mind, a couple of questions. what are some of the techniques and learnings you will be applying in the kingdom from your extensive international experience?
So I think, with the experience we had with these large programs, we will be able to plan the surveys in such a way that we can expedite the data acquisition. Our people is all highly experienced. We've just completed the project in Sierra Leone, so everyone is fresh and ready to go. So we can't wait to get going with this project.
And thank you very much. Just a quick follow-up. What are some of the distinguishing features of the sectors you will be surveying in the Arabian Shield?
I think everyone is very excited about the Arabian Shield. It's a well-known area with great geological potential. So I believe the magnetic and radiometric data sets is going to come out from the first phase will really assist mining companies with the specifically regional targeting and then focusing on trying to detect mineral resources.
Great, thank you very much, Simon. This brings us to the end of the presentations. I wonder, Your Excellency, are you happy to make some closing remarks before we wrap up?
Yes, thank you very much all for being with us today. Appreciate very much our partner so elegantly explaining their respective roles in this massive geological survey. Their expertise is undeniable, and we are confident we will be successful together. It's difficult to underestimate the importance of this program. It reflects our determination to enhance our data and investor access to that data. As you know, last year Saudi Arabia ranked among the 10 most improved nations in the World Bank's ease of doing business. This shows us that the extensive structural transformation across Saudi Arabia is succeeding. As you can see from today's webinar, we are working to ensure that the ease and risk of doing mining is also improved in Saudi Arabia. With the new mining law, this geological survey, our National Geological Library, and the digital platform, I believe we are on the right path. Thank you all for joining us, and I hope to see you all in Saudi Arabia. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you also to our sponsors, the Saudi Geological Survey, to our guest speakers, and to you, the audience. Thank you very much for taking the time. A recording of the discussion will be made available to you after the event. If you'd like to know more about what you've heard today or have any questions, please email us at the address on your screen. That's questions@mindsandmoney.com. questions@mindsandmoney.com. Your inquiries and any requests for follow-up meetings will be passed on to the Vice Minister's team, who will be in contact with you directly. Finally, the Saudi Geological Survey are also sponsoring our upcoming IMARC online event that will run from the 23rd to the 27th of November, and Minds and Money Online Connect, which will run from the 30th of November to the 3rd of December. We hope to see you all at both of these events. So for now, thank you and goodbye.